Right next to my missing security detail, as turns out.
Where the fuck did everyone go?
There were two, weren't there? Shulkin had two blokes posted to stand guard for the night. I might be panicking for a bit earlier, but I'm quite sure I haven't gone delusional yet. What? Did both of them decide to take a break? Because they think the master's already sound asleep and won't be looking for them?
Damn nitwits.
I know assassinations happen very rarely these days, and even less in a peaceful city like Luxport, but bollocks! There's been a woman going in and out of this place uninvited who may or may not want to put a knife in my back. Isn't that reason enough to stay on alert? I'm fairly certain Shulkin won't just enlist their help just for this power outage, only to leave me unprotected. We have a difficult friendship, so to speak, but I doubt that man is an opportunist. I'm holding the lives of his family in my hands, after all. He knows what I'm capable of doing. He's not stupid enough to do anything that'll endanger them and save only himself. So where then? Only my footsteps echo along the dark passage, and I'm left gripping the handle of my pistol for some sort of comfort. Comfort. Without proper lighting and with the storm still raging outside, the stories I've heard about this place seem to have some truth to it. Some. If I'm reaching and wish to entertain myself for a bit, I'll say there might also be ghosts whispering in my ears, calling. Of course, it's just the wind and the trees rustling outside. And the good will come from allowing these thoughts to linger when problems are piling up in front of me one after another. Especially with what greets me once I get to the foyer. Though it's dark, the large windows illuminate the area much more easily than any of the other rooms. And from where I stand at the top of the stairs, I can easily make out their forms. Recognize them even. It's all gone crazy when these intruders come into my house. I'm no stranger to a cop playing dirty. Smart ones knew that neither life nor criminals are going to play fair. And if one is this Wogs sort is in on this, I'm not surprised too. But Lily, the estate agent? She doesn't seem the sort. And Daisy too? What will Kylie think of her Miss Pink if the poor tyke finds out about this? Not to mention Mint. Hana trusted her. I trusted her to be a professional, at the very least, for fuck's sake. To top it all off, they have the nerve to look surprised when I announce my presence.
Well, what have we here? If I were any less sober, I'd say this is the beginning of a joke.
Bloody trespassers. What is wrong with these people? Did they really think I'll be fine with them walking into my home like this? What are they even doing here? If I don't know any better, they might also be behind Hana's disappearance.
That's right, my love.
They must have a motive.
Make them pay.
And it better be a good one.
For all the wrong they've done to us.
Or a bullet to the head is the least all of them will deserve.
Let's see. A photographer, a high school teacher, a real estate agent, an interior designer walk into a mansion.
Thunder crackles once again, cutting me off. This time, its sound hits close enough that it nearly feels as if the windows and the ground itself are rumbling. All is deathly still for a moment. I don't let it stop me, however, as I slowly make my way towards them, taking one careful step at a time, relishing the expression of fear in their eyes. I suppose there's something ominous in the setting with the heavy rain outside and the lack of light there. I kinda like it, to be honest. Adds something to the atmosphere. Suppose I must look like a villain now. But short of me getting close to them, a noise to my left distracts me, briefly halting my movements while curiosity takes over every murmurs in my head. And it's a good thing perhaps I did, because as soon as I look up, I see him. Another trespasser. Great. Just as he's about to jump down from the furniture that has somehow ended up piled and blocking the door to the parlor. What happened here? Did he really think it's alright to do that in other people's houses? Lout.
Teach him, my lord. Put him in his place.
My hand's already moving before any rationale can stop me. Fingers firm at my gun when I finally release the safety from it and take aim. Not at him, but at his friends. They are his, aren't they? Why else would they be here together? Doesn't matter. He won't let the people he cares about be harmed. My finger on the trigger's more than itching to shoot, but I hold back. Sure, I could have simply taken aim at him. But more than seeing him bleed, I want to see the expression on his face once he realizes everything he's doing is futile. He's trapped. Lives are in my hands. His life's in my hand.
Had I known there would be a party in my own home tonight, I would have opened a bloody bottle or two. People these days, in my own home, can you believe it? I feel so left out.
I can tell the exact moment the realization dawns on him. A short second of his body freezing and blood draining from its face as soon as his feet hits the floor and he looks up. He's already a prey trapped by his own recklessness.
Pathetic.
And really, Daisy, even you, what would Kylie say?
Luke, this isn't what you're thinking. You have to listen to us. There's something going on here.
Well, obviously, why else would people be trespassing in my home? What about little Lily over there, then? What's your excuse? Checking back if your clients are doing okay? Is that it? Is this what this is? Oh, we're doing good, by the way.
Sir, please.
Oh, please, what?
Becca's right, sir. We need to get out of this place. You need to leave.
Tut, not a good enough excuse, darling. You people are the ones who need to get out of my sight. Don't worry, I might consider pressing lighter charges for the woman. Can't say the same for the rest of you. But really now, I swear the people of this city need to be taught the meaning of privacy. This is how you want to start the week. Why don't we just go with a bloody massacre if we want to surprise people in their homes, huh?
It's just a passing remark, of course. I'm not stupid enough to do something that'll bring negative attention to myself. Reputation and all that. Just can't risk it. The thought of having dead bodies here, ones that I'm not even responsible for, they're the ones who trespassed. It's already quite too much. It'll literally be overkill, especially for someone like me. Nevertheless, Juggernaut Feathers wastes no time drawing his own gun at the slight wave of my own. Even if he knows it's already too late. Still, he glares at me. Still, he fights back.
Now, Feathers. Manners. You're in no position to be pointing that gun at people.
There's no desperation in him like I'm hoping. Just an annoyance flickering shortly before being hidden underneath a challenge. Likes of him are the kind of people I hate the most. Even with their failures already glaring down at them, mocking every worthless move they make, they have the impudence to stare people in the eye.
Why don't you put yours down first, and then we'll talk about manners.
Oh, he talks back. The gall! You know, your kind pisses me off so much.
Annoying most of the time. Like a damn pest you can't be rid of. But to some degree it is commendable. I'll give him that. After all, we're almost in the same in that regard. Almost. I'm still the better person, of course. He tells me to put the gun down, but I see no reason why I should. I'm a homeowner. In defense of my own home, I have the right to, I'd like to think. Questionable permit of firearms aside. It's not like I wanted this. But I'm already high-strung, and their presence does not help. Bloody peasants. I can never seem to figure out how their minds fully work. Take this one, for example. Despite the pride brimming in him, no matter how he matches my glare with one of his own, he simply lowers his pistol after a long second, not in surrender. The tense set in his shoulders tells me as much, but the closest he can get to lowering his own ego in favor of something I can't quite place. Interesting. Gotta admit, I'm almost disappointed.
As you should be, my lord.
I've expected him to hold until one of us shoots the other. Can't say it'll be more exciting that way. A bullet inside any part of my body isn't something I like to have on a bad day like today. Or any day for that matter. But it will surely be predictable of him. And I like predictable. They're the kinds of people who are the easiest to deal with no matter the situation. With them, there's no second guessing what they'll do. He shoots, I shoots, one of us dies, and the other walks away. Nothing complicated. Nothing requiring much brain power, just muscle memory and who's the better shooter. End of story. Yet here he is, dragging a deep breath in and setting aside the only thing protecting him. I can easily shoot him this way. Be done with this whole farce parts of a conversation. Instead, I find myself listening. A concession. For a person who, in another life, would have also become the person I am today had his circumstances allowed it. Damn shame. We might have gotten along,
Listen, right. I need you to.
but alas.
You broke into my house, and somehow, you expect me to listen like a good little boy. Are you a bit touched in the head, Feathers? I'm not the one breaking laws here.
Look here, fucker. If I wanted you dead, I could have done it so many times already. In fact, I can easily shoot you down right here, right now. And you won't be able to do a damn thing, even with that gun.
A meaning of two prideful blows that will never go well, whichever lifetime it is. And I can only laugh at his audacity, his lack of shame and fear, even facing the business end of my pistol.
You know what I'm thinking right now? In another lifetime, we would have probably gotten along well.
The best truth I can offer him. Not many people, those who have slighted me in particular, live this long to see it.
And he should be grateful. You're already gracious enough, allowing him to stand in your presence like this.
Yes, especially when he has a lot to answer to. Preferably right now, because as generous as I've been so far, my patience has its limits. My amusement can only last for so long. In 2 steps, I'm standing in front of him, grabbing him by the collar and resting the cold muzzle of the eagle against his temple.
Ashton! Luke, no!
Hey, now you two, I'm sure we can all talk about this first.
He'll end up a pretty smear on the wall this close.
Teach this loud a lesson.
What is it that you people really want with me? This is the 2nd time this week, and I'm really getting weary of this little game. Did the NCA send you to apprehend me? Or has somebody paid you off to kill me? Which one is it, Feathers? Mind you, my arm's getting tired. Better answer quick if you don't want to beat the business end of this gun.
And he knows it. Of course he does. Hitman or not, he's been trained, judging purely from his stance. But not many bother to be as cautious as him. One glimpse at my handgun safety earlier is all it took for him to see I mean business. Similar. Too similar. We're too alike in so many little ways it's funny. Down to the fact that he doesn't even flinch, no matter how heavy the threats in my words are. Even knowing how one flick of my finger on the trigger will be enough to end his sorry life. He could have caved in by now, started begging like so many others before him. Instead, he throws more vitriol, adds more kindling to a fire already burning.
I'm not with NCA. I'm just here to help. There's something else in this house, and we're all in danger. You have to believe me, right? You need to let us go. You need to get out of here before it's too late. If you want to keep your sorry ass alive, you'll listen to people with more brain cells than you.
Igniting it further than I can't help but return it to him with equal fervor. We don't need him, Myla.
Why, you insolent!
We both decide to move in that moment, both our bodies tensing, each of us racing to get ahead of the other. However, before we can even get a head start, a voice unexpectedly rings above the chaos about to ensue.
Luke, help me. Please.
I've always been cautious and careful, cutting off Trouble's head before things can escalate if I'm able. That's why I deal with the likes of Harvey, Suarez, and Johan. But for all who we are, for all the enemies the likes of us can make, such a thing has never happened before, because I do everything to make sure it doesn't happen. So to see Hana in danger? I don't quite know how to feel or what to do. Of all times for there to be a hostage situation, if this is even one, why now? Good fucking God, what is going on here?
Help me. Please. Please make it stop.
I think death would be preferable if my sense of self-preservation was shot to high hell. It would deprive me of choice and responsibility in the matter. And I don't want to think about how fast my heart beats so that I hardly hear anything other than my own heart beating her pleading.
Please. They're in my head. Screaming. It hurts so much.
What do I do? What can one do against someone holding your life in their hands? With a woman that looks more monster than man? When her expression turns to me When her expression turns into one of amusement and horrific laughter fills the air, I'm torn apart. This is my fault, isn't it? Hana is in danger because of me. Everybody I love always ends up hurt or worse. And even when I choose to let her go, she's no exception. Hana's unbroken begging makes it all the much more painful, because I still love Hana. I really do. But will I really endanger myself for a woman who might not love me back anymore? Still, something in me dies a little when that woman laughs as if this is all some sick joke. Her smile taunts me, filling my head with laughter and rage until I can barely think over the cacophony in my head. And the way the woman looks at me, as if she's watching, waiting for my next move.
Please, someone, anyone, help me.
This is crazy, and I don't know what I should do. I know for a fact that one shouldn't aggravate a hostage taker. There's no winning an argument with someone who holds a life easily taken. But I need to do something, right? I just have to. Oh no. This could go so badly. So damn badly. Demand Hana's release. We've broken it. What am I doing? Why am I even hesitating? I wouldn't go so far to claim that I'm any sort of decent human being. I realize now, too, that I may not have been the best husband one could ask for, but she's still my wife. And even if she wasn't, she's still Hana. Can I really live with myself if I just stood idly by while she was in danger? That doesn't change the fact that all this is fucking insane, of course. Having all of these intruders is crazy. To think about going at this thing is crazy. I can hardly classify it as a person in my eyes. Perhaps a maggot that needs to be crushed under my shoe, just like the rest of this sorry lot. But a person? Hardly. But I cared none for any of it. They didn't matter. All that matters is that Hana is in danger. But cold pours over me, freezes me in place once more when I try to make demands. I have to take deep breaths, grit my teeth, and steel my fist to even find the courage to speak up.
Let go of her! Don't hurt her! Whatever it is you want! Just don't you dare hurt her!
And if my voice isn't as firm as I'd like, it doesn't matter. I will beg and plead if I have to. On my knees, bend my fucking proud neck and maybe even break it just to make sure she's safe. She's safe. I don't know what I would do if anything happened to Hana. The cold stillness is gone from my body and my skin feels like it's on fire. I have to shout, scream at her when Hana continues to cry out in pain.
What do you want? Money? Is that it? I'll give you however much you want.
Luke, please make it stop. I want it to stop.
Just stop whatever it is you're doing to her. Can't you see she's hurting?
I cannot stand for this.
Let go of her! Now!
I say it with such ridiculous conviction. And of course she won't listen. Why would she? She has the upper hand here. There's no reason for her to do as I ask. But her voice is but a whisper and a deathly slow. And I'm hard-pressed to hear it over the pounding of my heart in my ears. She speaks. The woman from the gardens and the servant girl from the ballroom. From the hallucination, vision, memories, whatever they were. A hush settles over the room as we listen.
Does not love you anymore. You owe nothing to her. And you wish to have him back.
There are no second thoughts.
Be that as it may, I still love her. And I will make you rue the day you were born if you don't let her go.
Though her expression doesn't change, I have this most awful feeling that it wasn't the answer she was looking for. I could see how the woman's fingers tighten around Hana's throat, hear a hitch in her breath, and I fear that I've made the worst decision in speaking out. I didn't think she would listen, yet she does. A hand on Hana's back sends her falling down the stairs. I move to catch her, that sends us both sprawling at the foot of the stairs. With my back to the ground and her on top of me, the pain doesn't even register in my head. All I can worry about is Hana as I pull the both of us off the ground and away from the stairs. Away from her.
Are you alright, Hana? Are you hurt?
It takes much too long for my liking before she speaks. All she's able to do for a moment is whimper in pain, a hand to her throat. And when she does manage to speak, Her voice is far too faint along with the hold she has on my arm. It's terrifying to see her like this, and to think I nearly lost her for good.
Luke, I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. She just...
It's fine. It's fine. You're fine. This isn't your fault.
For a moment we forget, but
You deserve each other.
hearing her voice triggers something in Hana and she starts to tear up. Her face contorts into one of pain and fear. But I grab her by the shoulders to keep her in place so that she can see me and only me. So that I can only see her too.
Look at me, Hana. Look, I'm here. You're safe. I won't let her hurt you again. Do you understand? Just breathe.
I don't know exactly what in the bloody hell is going on, yet I can't find it in me to care. Whoever these people are and whatever they're here for. This is not acceptable. For all I know, this is some dumb charade to get to me. All the times I have seen the woman before, it could have been an act to get to me, get under my skin. And to think they dare hurt Hana. For all that the fear that I had felt, seeing her touch Hana, I can only think of her as an actress in a grotesque makeup. My hand still shakes, the fear not having quite gone, but anger fills me as I look at the woman, a sneer on my face.
How dare you! I don't care who you are, but how dare you touch Hana! I want you out of my house! Out before I call the police and have you put away for the rest of your miserable life! And that goes for all of you!
I hold my ground, firm and strong with my declaration. But the nerve of her, she just laughs in my face! Terrible, dreadful laugh that makes me feel as if there were ants crawling on my skin and maggots squirming into my ears.
You are telling me to get out of your house. You threatened to lock me up.
She laughs and she laughs.
What's so funny? What are you laughing at? None of this is funny!
But she persists. It almost feels like her voice is in my head.
Oh, no different. No different. You're all the same. You can all suffer together.
And that is when everything turns into complete and utter shite. It's a slow thing. A whisper. More than a bane as the darkness creeps into every corner of the room. The walls shudder and groan. Blood runs from the ceiling, crawls down the walls, and stings the floor. It feels as if life itself is being sucked from the house, slowly but surely. The beauty of this place is gone. Only with only the dead, decaying remains of a mansion left in its wake. I don't have to wonder if it's just the foyer that's become this nightmarish place. I can already hear it. Gone are the growling of thunder and the lashings of rain and wind against the foyer's high windows. All of it has been replaced by a more grating sound. A cacophony of voices from nowhere and everywhere, echoing throughout the now horrid walls. Voices that neither belong to us nor the people who live here.
What's going on?
All throughout the house, shouts of alarm and surprise ring out, mirror to the horror creeping up in each of us. Who wouldn't be shocked? This is insane! Even Daisy, feisty woman that she is, trembles at the sight of it, clinging desperately to Lily while Steel and Feathers stand protectively in front of the two. Brave of them, I have to admit, to put themselves on the front line like that. Though it doesn't necessarily mean they don't feel the same fear as the rest of us. Something I don't blame them for. There seems to be no end in sight to this insanity. If anything, this only feels like it's the beginning of the end.
Help me! Oh my god! Please, somebody! Anybody! Who are you? Stay away! No. Stay away! Stay away!
Their screams fill the mansion. She laughs all the while, a harsh, agonizing sound that goes for what feels like forever. Till there's nothing but silence, her horrid smile, and pale hands reaching out to me. Oy vey. Calling. Beckoning. Pleading. I'm terrified, I really am, like I should be. But I've never been one to truly stay afraid. I've long learned that fear will not get me anywhere. Cowering in a corner doesn't keep me safe, and it will not keep me alive. not like rage does. I've learned to use this burning hate inside of me to survive. There's no difference now.
Stay away from me!
Why? Why do you wish to leave? This is where you belong, my lord. Remember the blood we share? This is your home. Don't you remember? You promised to return, to stay, together with me, with us, with people no different from you.
What is she talking about, Luke? What does she mean?
Don't listen to her, she lies. I promised no such thing to anyone. Hana, you're the one who bought this house. How should I know what she's babbling about? I never even wanted to be here in the first place.
Terrible case of mistaken identity. That must be it. I'm quite sure of it. I don't know this woman. This monster. Why would I say that to someone like her? In my entire lifetime, I've only made and kept sincere promises to a mere 2 people. Hannah Evans and Eleanor Chandler. No one else. The rest of those who claim I've promised anything to them can go fuck themselves. Bloody hell, I may enjoy the company of women, but I am not an idiot to start spouting such nonsense to anyone. A line must be drawn, especially if I'm to keep myself alive. Yet, she still goes on, insists, making me appear a liar in front of these people.
Of course you still deny it. Have you truly forgotten? You haven't changed, I see. Still a deceiver.
She's lying!
You see, my love, nothing has changed. Still no difference, you and I. Just like the rest of us. Just like every single soul in this putrid wreck. We've waited for so long. You can hear them, yes? Their pleas, their calls, their invitation. Come, my lord. The house seeks its master.
She, the monster, reaches out again, her hands a gory, abhorrent sight, along with that smile spread across her face. My body's already moving on instinct, stumbling back, one step at a time in a desperate bid to be away from her. Aileen put this between me and this vile creature. No matter what she says, I am nothing like her. I need to get out of this house. Out of this country, preferably. There's nothing for me here. None anymore. Nothing to keep me tied to this place. With Hana planning to leave me, Shrock and likely taken by this woman, nothing's left to bind me to this wretched city. I can leave. I can—
Careful, Luke!
My footsteps on something, sending me sliding on my back and flat on the floor. Behind me, a paper, a familiar one, flutters down. It's this thing again, from the open house, though it feels less like a gimmick and more like a threat, what with recent events. Must have fallen from one of the peasants in the commotion earlier. For a moment they appear conflicted to see it in my hands, but wisely keeps their opinions to themselves, leaving the damn thing to simply bear its grisly message for everyone in the room to see. Help me. Is this it? What they've been telling us? Why everything in my life has gone to shite? Because of some stupid old letter. An invitation indeed. One I'm not willing to accept. Not anytime. From the top of the stairs, the creature moves again, drawing my attention back to her. Her gait remains slow and awkward as she walks forward, that smile never leaving her. But I don't. I won't give her the chance. I'm not dying here. I'm certainly not giving myself to a hideous creature like her either. Adrenaline kicks in, despite panic gasps and worried glances from Daisy. I pay them no mind as I reach for the main door and, without warning, it slams open, revealing not the mansion grounds like I'm expecting. Before my mind can even comprehend what's happening, black tendrils have already coiled tightly around my limbs, dragging every person in the foyer into the room. None of us even get to scream when darkness completely envelops us upon the doors closing.
Understand where your place is now, my love. You belong here. Is it so difficult to grasp? We've been waiting.
Okay, I'm gonna end the episode here. Shit's hit the fan. Big time. Oh boy. More so than it did at the end of Ash's chapter. Oh boy. We'll be continuing this in the next episode. Till then, this is the Gamer Girl, signing off. Bye bye.